to go. The question I get asked the most by not so much people on YouTube, but in the real world, is how do you find time to fit all the training in without it impacting on the rest of your life? And the answer is incredibly easy. It's A, I don't. It impacts massively on the rest of my life. And B, so what? No one says you have to fit your career in without impacting the rest of your day, do they? No one says how you're going to fit your kids, your wife, your husband into your day without it affecting other things. It's just assumed that those are foundations that have to happen. Everything else has to make way for them. But why isn't your health in there with those? Job, family, health. Everything else has to fit around those, not the other way around. TV, surfing the internet, those have to make way for this stuff. The amount of times people tell me they want to start running but they can't find half an hour to go for a jog. And yet I'll tell them about some new series I found on Netflix while I'm sat on this thing for hours. They'll be like, oh yeah, I'm on season 18 of that, from their sofa. It's not flat out, are they? Having said that, some days are tougher than others. Today is a Thursday. Monday, rest day. Tuesday, easy bike. Wednesday, easy run. Thursday, Friday, medium bike and run. Saturday, Sunday, long bike and run. Then with weights, and when the pools are open, swimming, throwing around it all. The problem at the moment is that the training is ramping up a bit. It's going to taper off over Christmas and then in the new year come back up again, building all the way till June Ironman. And building up at the moment means that the medium days, Thursday, medium bike, medium run, are becoming a bit more than medium. So today is a 2-hour bike, 1.5 hour run. I want to do some chest and shoulders as well. So that's over 4 hours of training. And so it is fair to ask the question, how do you fit that in conveniently around everything else? So 2 things I need to make it all work. The 2 things I need, number 1, preparation, and then more preparation. So for today that means minimising mucking about time. Last night, while the kids were on their PlayStations and Jen was watching telly, I was chopping up malt loaf, getting my kit laid out, making sure everything in here was charged up, so that when I came in here this morning at 6 o'clock, it was ready to go, I was ready to go. No time wasted. I've said it so many times, if you want to make something happen, if you want to make something habitual, make it really, really easy and convenient. Make it almost hard not to do it. Especially if you put a lot of effort into something, it actually becomes quite inconvenient not to do it. Okay, so today's session's been pretty cool. I did a half hour riding around Zwift. I then did an hour's group ride with a bunch of Australians who were doing their 7 o'clock in the evening ride, I guess, as I was doing it at 7 o'clock in the morning. And now I've got half hour to go, so I'm just finishing off with another little ride around on my own. Give me my 2 hours. Okay, not long's gone here. Just wrapping up in here. I said it in my last video, this setup is just absolutely how I want it. Everything works perfectly. I'll film it later and show you the wiring's all tidied up down below, all nice and neat. I've got my quick release socket so I can unplug the bike and wheel it out of the way. Rocker plate for the bike is on the way. I've got the Wi-Fi plug for the fan so I can turn the fan off and on from my phone. Yeah, it's just perfect. Okay, 21 minutes of this left and out for the run. Run done. Cool down walk back to the house. It is so cold, absolutely freezing. Even running didn't warm me up. It's funny because on the bike group ride this morning, on the Zwift ride, it's a bunch of Australians talking about how it's 40 degrees over there and another beautiful day tomorrow. And I was freezing in the garage and now freezing out here. But it's over with. Nice and gentle one today as well, because I ran hard yesterday, 10k, just under 45 minutes. What did I do on Tuesday? Tuesday was a bike ride. Oh, I'll talk about that later because that went very well. So today, nice and slow, nice and gentle. Back at my desk for just after 10 AM. All going to plan. Oh man, ab wheel is brutal. I'm done. I'm done. It's, what is it? Go for 6:30, finished. Today I've done 2 hours on the bike, 1.5 hour run, 40 minutes now. Yeah, 40 minutes. Just chest, shoulders, bit of core work, and I'm now finished. And a full day in the office, or near enough full day in the office as well. Everything fits because of good preparation, and preparation of everything. The kit I've used, even the clothing I've worn, the food, the snacks I've eaten today, it's all been prepared in advance, most of it yesterday. So today was just really efficient use of time. Everything was just ready to go. It makes fitting over 4 hours of training into the day, along with work, doable. Good preparation. The only other thing I need in addition to preparation is a degree of acceptance. If I want to treat the things that I want as important enough to me to regard them as fundamentals alongside job and family, then I need to accept that those fundamentals need to just give each other wiggle room, and that's not a problem. It works always. If one of my kids is ill and I have to blow off work to look after them, not a problem. The same with having to work late sometimes, not a problem. Job, family, my health, they need to coexist and give each other room. Sometimes that means starting at 10 AM and not 9 AM to get in an extra hour's training, or finishing work at 3 PM so I can run before dark, and then maybe doing an extra hour of work in the evening instead. Not a problem. My training is not impact free. It's about accepting that the impact is worth it. And if you're thinking it's okay for you, you have a job where you can work from home, flexibility, family that doesn't mind, you're lucky, sort of. But like the person that wins the lottery, you have to have bought a ticket. I realized 20 years ago that that was how I wanted to structure things, and I just set about aiming for it. I worked with people who prioritized work above everything. They were stressed, unhealthy people. They're probably dead by now. And I see people do the same with their family. It is a tightrope. If you live for your kids at the expense of all else, are you really doing them any favors? If you don't find time to look after yourself, your own life, where does that end up? Will your kids in their 20s and their 30s be glad that you spent every waking moment running around after them if it now means that their parent is a divorced type 2 diabetic? I doubt it. I didn't regard selfish as a negative. Within reason, your boss, your wife, your kids, they will reap the rewards of you looking after yourself as much as you will. So 20 years ago, I set about trying to figure out how I could work from home, how I could get by working less, maybe earning less, but fitting in me. Back then it wasn't for fitness, more just free time for quality of life. But the concept is the same. I saw the value in getting that balance right and making sure that those around me, family, work, knew it was important to me, that it was a fundamental requirement that I would benefit from and everybody else would benefit from if I got it right. So I got lucky in that I achieved what I set out for, but I did buy the ticket. What's my point? If you think you can't fit you into your own life, just make sure you are actively trying, that you have bought the ticket. Step back and assess, what can you wiggle? Do those around you know how important it is? If they think you are getting some exercise and that's up there with you watching some TV, no wonder they get annoyed if you put it ahead of them. Bottom line, if it's important to you, act like it. This bike race from the other day. Okay, I've listened to all the advice that I've been given since I started using Zwift, all the comments on all the videos, and I channeled it on Tuesday into the first race that I finished satisfied with. Let me find the video. It is so cold in here, I don't think the MacBook wants to work. Oh, here we go. Okay. So this route was a 2-lap, pretty flat race in a category C that went off on our own. So the A's and B's went off at different times, didn't have to worry about them, which was good. I tried my hardest to stay in the front, not take the lead as I've done in the past and exhaust myself immediately, but to stay in that front group. And I did okay at that for a while. On the first climb, I was surprised actually at how hard they were still pushing a good couple of minutes in. I thought they might have settled down a bit. They didn't. Some of those guys were pushing 4 watts per kilogram easily up the hill. I could do that, but I wasn't expecting to have to do it, and consequently I lost them. But on the first descent, I found myself dropping back into the group following, and so I basically sat with that, the second group. Is there a term for them? Blob of people. So I'm in that second group, and I stayed in that second group. I had to work really hard to do it, but I stayed in it right the way until the end. Coming into the last lap, I had the aero helmet, and I'd been told in the past, if you get it on the last lap, save it for the sprint finish, so I did that. And coming into that last lap, 400 meters to go, I was right in there with that group. I was just determined to win that group. I wanted to be first in that little pack. So with just under 300 meters to go, I just sprinted as hard as I could. I hit the aero boost. Another guy also had the aero boost, and so the two of us were neck and neck. Luckily, I had the 1000-watt legs boost and took him. I mean, it was awesome. I'm clearly 15th. I didn't win, obviously. 14 people beat me, but I won my little group. I felt like a winner. It was absolutely amazing. I mean, I was already hooked on Zwift anyway, but double hooked. In terms of exciting numbers and so on, so on Zwift Power, there were 20 Category C riders. I was 8th, above average, happy with that. And interestingly, I know it's not important, but in terms of pure wattage, I did well. I was the highest wattage producer in Category C across every category. 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 1 minute, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. The entire race, 310 watt average. So my Zwift love affair continues. Hope you find it all entertaining at least. Like and subscribe, please. That is incredibly beneficial to me if you can do that. What's coming next? Next, I've got some very cool modifications going on to the Cervelo P3X road bike. That's going to happen this weekend. What else? I'm also going to be moving the filming location into the office because I cannot feel my fingers in here. It's so cold. And that is it for today. I now need to go and prepare for tomorrow because preparation is half the battle. Oh, and breaking news, although it won't be by the time you see this, we've just had released the tiers, the coronavirus tiers. So we now all know what our situation is going into Christmas, or at least going into December. Here we are at tier 2, which thank goodness means the gyms are going to be open, so at least I can get back in the gym. Also tier 2, it says that because 20,000 people a day are still catching coronavirus in the UK, that you should take your health and fitness seriously, you should watch your diet, and you should exercise on a regular basis so you're in as good shape as possible in the event that you unfortunately do get the... Oh no, it doesn't say that. It just says you can't visit your neighbour. Funny old world.